Was it super? No,
No,
skill-based matchmaking.
skill-based matchmaking, super.
Space
What?
Super battle
Nasty.
matchmaking. I was actually gonna say that, and I was like, welcome to season 3 of the next 5 episodes of the MPCs. As you can tell, we stepped up the marketing budget. Look, we got lights here. We have lights over here. See?
Oh
Yellow,
yeah.
no yellow. Yellow,
Okay.
no yellow.
Nice.
We have budgets all amounting to roughly 2 packets of peanuts. So,
airplane peanuts.
welcome back, Josh. Welcome back, Armand. Welcome back,
Thank you. Thank you.
John.
Okay.
Let's do this. Okay,
Yay.
so yeah, today we're gonna be talking about the thing that drives everybody up the fucking wall. Super battle matchmaking. No, I'm kidding. Skill-based matchmaking. And how it's used as a marketing tool to bring people back for more and more and more pain. Now,
Right.
I want to keep my little fairy dust and my little shall I call it? I call it like sort of my hidden punch for Armand because he hates skill based matchmaking. But I
I
think
do.
in the game that we both play and the game that I still play, because evidently I'm 309 wins. I'm 191 wins away from uninstalling Apex Legends.
Nice.
So I've got plenty to share about SBMM right now. But surprise, surprise, something did change. It is
Ah.
not. It's not a permanent fix.
Okay.
But tell me, Josh, what is your experience like with skill-based matchmaking? Because I know you play Street Fighter 6, but that's not always a great benchmark, right? Because you get different ranks. You can challenge people above you, challenge people below you. But what have you had that experience of frustration?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I must caveat and start off first. I'm not very skillful at it, so I mean, I think overall it's a nice idea. It's a nice approach, right? Because I mean, it's so easy to compete with different people and so on and so forth, and then it is a measure of your skill to a large degree, like I would say. Uh, but personally, my gripe with it is uh, the rank down. I think is a little bit open to, and I've always wondered this. Like, at least in Street Fighter, you don't you get capped at I think masters, but to reach there, it's still going up, going down. So if you play really badly on that day, so when it comes to like fighting games, there are days where you're really off,
Mm.
but the road to reach that part where it's locked, right? It's quite an arduous one, and I mean, personally, I feel that I am better than my current rank, but I'm not good enough to go up to 2 or 3 ranks higher, if you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if it catches me on a bad day, right, I can really drop the rank, and I feel that it's a. I'm not sure how it is in other games, but at least in fighting games, it does bump you down, and it doesn't take into consideration these other things. But by right, when you reach a certain rank, it's understood that you would have amassed a certain knowledge, right? But I feel that the the measurement for the rank becomes a bit punishing if it keeps kicking you down to a certain
Mm.
level. I guess. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Oh,
so I
I,
think.
I never actually, sorry, John. I just actually knew that about fighting games though. Like
Oh,
you
you
can
did?
actually select where your level is and then
No, no,
pick a
no, no, no,
fight
no, no.
or
You
oh,
can't
oh
select. You
okay.
can jump into a custom game against somebody who's a silver or a
Right.
platinum or a
Okay.
master,
Right.
but it won't count against your rank points, your ladder points. So you know how
Oh,
Apex does it, right? Like last
right.
time, you get the rank and you stay at the rank. You can't rank down, but you stay
Right.
within like okay the 5 levels of bronze, the 4 levels of silver, the 4 levels of gold, and the 4 levels of
Yep.
platinum, right? You
Right.
can't rank down in that sense, but now you can, right? But in fighting games, let's
Mm-hmm.
say I'm a silver player and I win 10 games in a row.
Right.
When I'm done the night, I'm gold. But
Okay.
tomorrow I lose
Mm-hmm.
5 games in a row. I'm back
Hmm.
Yep.
down to silver.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nasty.
So, but
Yeah.
a lot of what actually happens is, in some ways, is that like their rank doesn't season reset.
Okay.
So ours does, right? Apex is season resets, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes you get some dudes in the bronze lobby who
Mm-hmm.
used to be masters,
Yeah.
and they just, because it's day one of the new season, so they just wash
Right.
everybody until they get
Yeah,
to the
so they
legendary.
just smurf their way through, right?
Well, they're not really
Right.
smurfing. They just, that's where the skill based matchmaking has failed
Yep.
because it reset the good player too far back,
Right. Right.
Mm.
right?
Oh,
But
so different systems, huh?
totally different
Oh.
systems, bro. The
Yeah.
system,
Okay. So. Sorry. Say John.
yeah. So the system that's like fighting games is more like Valorant and Counter Strike. You lose 2 games, expected demotion. You lose 5 games, expected big demotions. You lose like, oh, you win
Ah.
10 games, expect to be like, whoa, this guy's hacking. That
Right.
kind of
Right.
level of stuff. But like that skill based matchmaking is definitely not as OP as like what it might be like in Warzone,
Mm.
Apex, and all
Mm.
that, because you're not doing a 5v5, right? In
Right. Right.
Apex, Warzone, and all that, you're talking about 60 people servers,
All
and
right.
divided by as many number of teams, right? Which is like four per team or 3 per team.
Right. Oh, that's kind of interesting because now I'm looking at it like, if let's say Cristiano Ronaldo, right,
Mm-hmm.
hasn't played for 3 games, he goes back to Championship League.
It's not
Championship,
haven't played, no. But if he, let's say he lost 3 games of Real Madrid,
then he
Mm.
goes back to Division 3, right?
yeah, he gets demoted to the second level.
Yeah.
Yeah, something
Then
like
then he
yeah, kind
kicks
of something
everyone's
like that.
asses, and then you go like, what? He
Yeah.
just scored like 20 goals in one game. So that's basically how Apex works, right?
Yeah.
But in the context of what you said earlier, like Valorant or like Street Fighter, it's actively engaging you with the games that you are actively playing, right? So like 3 games in a row you win and then you rank up,
Yeah.
or 5 games in a row you lose and then you rank down. So it's not like after season one I deranked you.
Yeah.
Did they do a rank reset? No, right?
No, they don't. They only do a stats reset. So
Okay,
you will
Huh.
okay.
still stay at the same rank.
All right.
But, okay, so I mean, all in all, it's still I mean, overall, it still sets you against who you need to be set with.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Okay.
get what I mean. But it does become again it. I mean, it's hard to say, right? Because when it comes to like these kind of games, sometimes when it comes to competitive games, you will have days where you are underperforming, or even like weeks where you're not so good. But
Mm,
it does kind of. I mean, I guess that's the cons of it.
Mm.
right.
It does bump you back down to the lower rank.
So one thing I noticed in Tekken when I was playing on my Switch and all that kind of stuff, when they rank you up, when they rank you in a match with somebody at random, you don't always get a gimme match. You know what I mean? Like, so I think part of the problem Armand has, or I'm speaking for him, but basically, is when we get into skill based matchmaking in Apex, they give you, oh, you haven't been back for 2 months? Cool. Here, have a game where you just mop the floor with everybody,
Uh-huh.
and then the next game you're like, oh, top 3. Then the next game you're like, oh, not bad, you top 5. Oh, okay. And then the subsequent games after that are like, holy shit, I can't even kill the first squad I see. They just
Yes.
wash us, right?
Yeah. So to me that is the most annoying thing. So every time when I play with John, when we have one good game, we go like, John, that's the only good game we're gonna have. Because
We've been on record saying that many times.
yes, we've gone on record saying that many times. So that's what annoys me. Like, who makes the skill matchmaking, right? Like for us, especially in Apex, no one actually says how the algorithm works,
Mm.
right? So and then hearing from a fighting game perspective, what is the gauge? Like, I know you say bronze 3, or how, but some bronze may not be the same as other bronze players, right? Some
Yeah.
people are just I'm spammy guile, that's all I do.
Mhm.
Right? Some people are okay, I'm a bit more versatile, I can use Zangief, I can use Ken and all that, right?
Mhm.
So where does the fighting game world sit with that skill-based matchmaking? Does anyone actually know how it's determined?
It's, to my knowledge, there's no SBMM. The skill based
Huh.
matchmaking is linking you up with the pool of players that are available within the ping criteria. So you said like
Right.
nobody over 150 ping,
Uh-huh.
right? And somebody within my skill group. So the skill
Right.
group is one down, one
Mm.
up.
Right.
Yeah, usually one. I think usually one down, one up. So sometimes we will get like right now I'm in platinum, right? But there
Mm.
are times when it will be matches against someone in diamond, which is above.
Mm.
So the closer you get to five five-star platinum,
Okay.
you
Okay.
will get. I mean, that's a good introduction to the next ceiling, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it is. But again, like I think Armand, your question was even within each of the rank, there are different people who have different styles of playing even the same character, right?
Mm.
So I guess in that sense, it's not the game or the algorithm's fault because it is still up to the player to be good enough to
Right.
deal with those
Okay.
situations. Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of okay, I'm using this term very loosely, fairness.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Mm.
How does that fare with games like I play? Because again, John has already mentioned I freaking hate it, right? Because
Mm.
I don't understand how I'm placed within the group. Because I sometimes I run solo, right? So I run solo, I get paired with two other random people. And I go, okay, either I'm better than them or they're carrying me.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's never a point in Apex where I feel like, oh, this is kind of balanced. I
Yeah.
feel
All three
like,
of us are good.
yeah,
Yeah.
like we're
Yeah.
all right. We took out like 2, 3 teams. We didn't make top five, but it's okay because to me, I feel the satisfaction comes from playing it as opposed to finishing top 10, top five, top three,
Or
top
winning
one,
every
right?
game, lah.
Yeah, winning every game, right?
Oh.
Because
I
the
think it's
satisfaction comes. Yeah,
yeah. I think it has everything to do with the fact that like coming close and feeling like you had a chance
yeah.
is
But but
the
but but see, what is that chance? Like to me, I don't care even if I don't make it out into top 10, right? But
mm,
if like, oh, I killed 3 dudes, oh, that's satisfaction. I had a good dog fight, or a fight here and there, right? So understandably, as gamers, that's what we seek, right? That satisfaction of playing, like experiencing the game. It's not so much of completing. It's not so much of I can do it in the fastest time. Like I mean, we've got speedrunners and
yeah.
completionists to have that,
Mm.
right? But as a just a casual gamer like myself, the thrill comes from playing the game. But if skill based matchmaking, denies me that pleasure
Mm.
because of fairness and balance, how does that then in turn keep me engaged with the game? Because John, I forgot to tell you, I actually deleted Apex.
Out of the all this frustration.
Yes, because I went in the other day because you say, "Oh, I'm gonna go rank up." So I kind of went in,
Mm.
and played a few rounds. I think 10 games straight, bro. I go like, why am I getting paired with this mumbo jumbo people who are literally? And I'm like, I wasn't even in bronze. I was in rookie,
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
right? Because I thought like, okay, all the preds are all gone.
Yeah.
There's,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's,
Yeah.
right? But no, man. Everyone's like a fucking streamer
Wait.
sniping
Wait.
me from afar. Yeah.
Did you join end of season 21?
Has it? Wait, is it over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's already season
Good end.
22 now.
Okay, yeah, the one previous.
Okay.
Ah,
Josh, you want to jump in on this really quickly before I drop some fucking mind blowing knowledge on Armand right now?
No, no, no. It's okay. So go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So something really interesting happened at the end of season
okay,
21. Okay.
okay.
Everyone is like, oh, okay, Smurfs, cheaters, whatever,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
whatever. And
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
knows at the end of the season of Apex Legends, the player base drops by 25%. All the
Right.
good players who had hunt their ranks, they've already got
Mm-hmm.
their ranks, they're gone. So now you're
Mm.
left with just some cheaters,
Mm-hmm.
some good people who are like, okay, I play for a little bit, then I fuck off to another game or whatever, and all that
Yep.
kind of stuff. The
Right.
last 3 days of season 21,
Okay.
I didn't even know this was going to happen because I didn't read anything. I didn't know anything. I just
Yeah.
logged into the game and it said Apex Rumble.
Apex what now?
Rumble.
Rumble.
It's a rank rumble.
What the shit?
Oh.
So, because I got to Platinum,
Uh-huh.
I was locked into only Plat lobbies. No one above that rank can join and no one below that rank can join. And I have 10 games
Uh-huh.
to gauge how many points and XP I can get to unlock, for one thing, to unlock rewards. But on another
Ah,
thing,
Okay.
it was like, okay, are you really truly a platinum? So I played the 10 games. In fact, I played the
Right.
10 games twice.
Uh-huh.
So I played 20 games. I reset my thing because I thought I could do better, right? Because I had a few games
Right.
where I literally died on drop.
Okay.
So, which is, I mean, it happens, right? You never know.
Right.
You drop and there's like 9 people around you, and then you get your ass shot off.
Yeah.
So we got into this game, and I won one game. We won one game in that, and it gave like, okay, fine, a ton of points and all that kind of stuff. But I
Mhm.
was like, okay, 1 out of 10 chance of winning a game in plat means I am plat.
Right.
So I felt like first time ever,
Uh-huh.
I knew exactly what my level was. You know what I mean? Because assuming that like I would have won 3 games in gold or 4 games in
Right.
gold, I would be better
Right.
than gold.
Right.
But 1 out of 10 times in plat is a 10% chance out of a 60-person lobby.
Right.
That kind of to me means that like, okay, in this case, this SBMM worked for me, right?
Right.
So I feel like you probably got in last few days
Mm-hmm.
when it because the Apex Rumble is only for certain ranks. I think it
Mm.
wasn't for anything below bronze or anything like that.
Nope, I
So
wasn't in
you
bronze.
got
Yeah.
trash lobbies the entire time.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like the worst possible lobbies and all that kind of stuff, lah.
No, but
So
it's
No,
quite
but
interesting that Apex has this kind of ranking system, right?
sorry, say again.
It's quite interesting that
They
in Apex there's this kind of
they
rank system.
literally just dropped it on us like last minute. It felt like I didn't remember reading anything about it until it dropped, and then they explained to us what Apex Rumble was, and I was like,
right.
oh cool, this is so cool that like right now EA, or not EA but Respawn, the entertainment company,
Mm.
they're pumping a lot more money into Apex right now, which makes me feel like this is the end of the game already.
Right.
So a lot of people complaining. So now they're actively changing things, and they're trying to, fund for more money or whatever. And all they changed the way the battle pass works. They've introduced huge game changes, which I feel like, what the hell? Why did it take you guys 20 seasons to figure that out?
Yeah.
20 seasons is literally like what? It's not 10 years, right?
No, that's about 5, 6 years because
5, 6
it's
years.
about 2 seasons per year.
Yeah. And
Yep.
it's crazy that it's taken them this long to create an evolution of the game. But yet the persistent thing would be this SBMM that keeps you coming back, right? That like
Mm.
the idea that like I give you a bunch of noobs, you get, oh cool, I'm great at this game. Then I play 10 games and I'm like, man, I suck. And just as you're about to quit, they give you another round of noobs. But these noobs are semi-noob.
Yep.
You
Yep.
beat them and you're like, oh, that's how.
Yeah, but doesn't that seem like a toxic relationship though?
This is the
You beat a person down low enough to go, okay, I'm done. Okay, well, now I'm gonna give you healing factor. You're gonna heal from that wound. You're all okay now. Here's the knife. Go back and fight. Right?
one favorite analogy is for
What?
this. It's when I was a kid, my mom used to tell me, or parents and teachers at school used to tell me that like the drug dealer will always give you the first set of drugs for free.
Free. Yep. Yep.
And slowly he'll jack the price up on you
Yeah.
until you are addicted,
Yeah.
and then you pay $1 million for your drugs and you're completely broke. And I was like, to be fair, after reading Freakonomics cover to cover twice,
Yeah.
there's a whole section on a guy who lives in the Bronx in New York who's
Yeah.
a drug dealer. He said that
Oh,
I
that's
don't
good.
ever give drugs away for free.
Yeah.
That's bad for business.
Yeah.
And I don't try to kill my customers either,
Yeah.
because that's bad for business. And I don't
Correct.
jack the price up on the customer that much either,
That's for
because that's for business.
Yeah.
And this
So
guy
what you just described, the drug dealer, is
is
Apex
the Apex
Legends, no?
Legends. Yeah, it's Respawn
Yeah.
Entertainment, right?
It's free. You can come. You want to buy cosmetics if you like, come join the game. It's annoying, but yeah, I'll give you a few wins here and there for you to enjoy. And then it feels like it's the same analogy with gambling, right? The house lets you win once or twice, makes you feel like you're a winner. You put in more money, and then you lose everything, right? And then the next day you come back, I gotta win it all again.
Do you not think that this could be like a brand new chapter in Freakonomics? Now that I think about it, have you read Freakonomics, Josh?
No.
No, not yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my god! I gotta buy you both a copy. This book. It will change your fucking mind about the way you think about things.
Okay.
Because like one of the most absurd thing, and I'm totally off tangent right now, is sumo wrestling.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so sumo wrestling, you'd assume, being that it's Japanese and Japanese are such upstanding
Mm,
people, and there's no such thing as corruption in Japan,
mm,
blah 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 blah. Well, it turns out you're absolutely wrong, and sumo wrestling is the most fucking corrupt thing you could ever do in your entire life because for one thing, they all grew up in
mm.
stables. They're literally a bunch of prize horses,
Yep.
right?
Yep. 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 Yep.
They get fed, they train, and all that. They welcome new people in there. They don't like the new people. They kill them, literally,
Mm,
and nobody goes to jail. It's all under the honor code, right?
mm,
In sumo wrestling, if I go in 13 matches, or let's say 10 matches is my 3 day event, right?
mm,
In my three-day event matches, plus, which is 10 events,
mm,
if I win 6, which qualifies me for the finals,
mm.
Mm.
I will lose the other 4 to another stable who's then going to guarantee a few wins for my lower level junior guys.
Okay.
So in the rankings, it's like, oh, your favorite Yokozuna or whatever, or this person or whatever, that person has an unrealistic record of 6-5 or 6-4 or
Mm,
7-3 or 8-2 because
mm.
no one goes 10-0
Mm.
in their
Yeah.
3 days because they're giving back.
Right.
So it's like it's dirty as hell, and the reasons for it are so bizarre that only Japanese people can understand lah. I can't remember the exact reason for it.
What people can understand?
Japanese people lah.
Wait, but it's ingrained in the culture. Is it something that is just like
It's like
institutionalized?
it's almost like an unspoken thing. I don't even know how
Huh.
to. It blew my mind when I read it, right? Because like
Mm.
everything in Freakonomics is always like, okay, I go and spend time with a drug dealer and find out how a drug dealer works, and they found out that this guy is almost ACCA level fucking accountant
Okay, that's cool.
because you can't have a dummy selling drugs.
Yep.
It just doesn't. The dummy who's selling drugs is using drugs too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and then he's not going to keep counting the money. And as the big parent drug dealer, I'll never get my money. Yeah, like Freeway Rick Ross,
Costco.
right? The
Yeah.
the guy who literally never bought a car over $1,000 US. Always he ran and operated the entire hood, hid money very carefully. It took him plenty of years to get caught. This is somewhat the same thing, right? Like the freakonomics of it all was understanding why they needed to do it, because for the sumo sport to have its longevity,
Mm.
there could not be this Michael Jordan-esque character.
Um,
Somebody
uh,
who is just running the tables. I could be
Yep.
wrong. Someone's probably going to correct me on this, but like,
Okay.
I mean, out of the
Check
4
the
people
comment
that watch this, like, yeah, 4 people that watch this,
Yeah, just having fun.
yeah. But yeah, it was so bizarre. It was just one of those things where they were like, no, we have to keep the industry growing, and therefore that means if I have to lose, then for someone else to take interest, then I will lose lah.
right.
So it wasn't
Wait,
even a Yakuza problem.
Mm.
it was just a thing within the sumo wrestling industry.
Yeah.
Huh. And does
Well, I
anybody know where that originated from, or just
I have no idea. I mean, I have to read the book again.
I
It's
don't
just
know.
bizarre.
I mean, among all this, I mean, it does make sense, right? It keeps things interesting, so you don't see like a powerhouse. But I guess when it comes back to what we're talking about, is
Hmm.
like what you said, like Armand, just keeps you in the game, right? Giving you
It's
either a
artificial,
false
right?
hope or yeah.
It's artificial. It's like a type of coercion,
Mm.
right? Like I watch the Olympics and I want to see the best wrestler or the best taekwondo guy,
Mm.
but to give his fan, his bro, his guy from this other country a leg up in the medal race, I concede defeat to him in like a really weird way.
Okay.
Just so that he makes the baseline qualification. That's where it kind of gets me a little bit on skill based matchmaking. Is that like
Mm.
it treats you a bit like a dummy, and it says like, okay, I get it, you're not good enough, but never mind, I keep you around so that like you make you feel like you're good enough, and you might get a chance to show your skill.
Hold up. Okay, now that you mentioned that, right?
Yeah,
Maybe I'm cannon fodder for those people.
Maybe we are. Maybe
Also
it's
possible. Yeah.
it's a very no. It's not
Yeah.
a cyclical thing. It's just
Yeah, no, like I go like why am I always the one that's getting down? So I'm the feeder for those people to get their jollies because Apex is probably thinking, this guy only logs in like once a week. Fuck him. Yeah, and like this other guy, he logs in like every day, plays for 24 hours. I think I'm gonna put this Armand fella into that lobby so that guy can keep going.
Would you
Yeah.
think it's like it's the opposite of it's the opposite mentality to thinking there's always another bigger fish in the sea. It's more
Yep.
like you're forever plankton.
No, but
Swimming with
it'd be quite
fishes.
interesting if they do this kind of
I honestly
cross pollination.
I mean, now that I dropped the Apex Rumble thing on you, right? Does it not seem like it's quite possible that is exactly what's going on? You don't log in for a couple of months at a time. Then you log in a few times. You're like, fuck this guy. He's not going to come back. Let's make his experience really bad. If he can beat these guys who are we're putting them against him, he'll feel encouraged to stay on. But if he doesn't, it's okay. He doesn't come in anyways. We already took his money. He's already past level 500 on both accounts on his PlayStation and his Windows thing. Whatever. We don't need him anymore.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Because again, looking at game cycles, right? Like I think we spoke about customer life cycle and all that, right? I am very much in the maturity, probably towards the end of my life cycle with Apex. I'm not new acquisition. I'm not active. I'm not I would say mature past maturity. So I'm at a churn. So I wouldn't be surprised if they actually do that. They have like a pool of old farts who's been in the game for like since day one. And they go, this bunch of yahoos don't really log in. Cannon fodder, let's go, all right? Because
wouldn't
I
be
really feel
surprised.
that way. Every time I play a game, I go like, why am I getting trashed by everyone?
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case.
But that's
Actually, it'd be
fucked
quite
up,
interesting
though.
if that were the case.
I mean, marketing teams do this all the time, right? Who's our target audience? These
Yeah,
are
that's
people
kinda
who
true.
are washed out. These are people who are coming in and all that. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Let's alienate those old farts, right?
Yeah. Like, how many
Yeah.
people got angry when Lifeline lost their res shield and left the game?
Oh yeah, I was one of them. I got pissed off. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but now, like, they give her other perks and all that. Oh, come back. Then you're like, no, it's still not the same. No, I know.
Okay. So having said that,
Mm.
going back to again what we do on the daily, right? Is there more drive towards acquisition than it is to retention?
I love this
Because it
question.
seems like they make a lot of changes that would piss the core fan base off, but it will then bring new fan base into the fold, right? I go like, what the fuck is this? Then the new guys will go like, yeah, this is how I want to play the game. I go like, huh? And it's the same thing even when we look at movies, we look at music, it's the same thing. Like Star Wars.
Yeah.
See, I fucking hate Star Wars now, but the new generation is like, oh no, I love Star Wars because it speaks to me in a deeper level. Right? And I go like, no, that's not what Star Wars is, but you alienating me. And they go, you're too old, you're 43. What the fuck do
you're
you
a
know?
boomer. You don't play.
Yeah,
don't
you're a
like Star
boomer,
Wars.
right? So does that mean that that's exactly what they're doing?
I mean, I won't be surprised
now
if
I'm,
it is.
now I'm
I
thinking about it.
I mean, I wouldn't
Yeah.
put it past them, right?
yeah.
Josh, what do you think about, like, when you... It was something that you said earlier, Armand, that that kind of triggered my mind. It was along the lines of... it wasn't just the customer cycle retention system, right? But it's more so like... Do I do things to please the old hat, or do I do things to please the new customer?
Right. Okay. That's fair. Okay. I have a question for Joshua.
Yeah.
Because you are a hardcore Street Fighter, right? You've seen
I?
the progression.
Well, I mean, he's
of Street
platinum.
Fighter.
I could never get out of silver, so
Yeah. So you've seen the progression, right? Have you ever had that moment where you go, what the fuck are they changing this for?
Okay, first off, I'm not that hardcore, so I'm not that good. I'm not that good either.
says
But
platinum guy over here.
like Is it more like gameplay wise or in the setup
Like
wise?
anything that you feel that wasn't necessary, but people are talking about it, like, oh, gameplay improvements. Like, you remember we talking about the parry system, or then somehow that they simplified the parry system because they wanted newer players to come in and not feel like they can't pick up the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. But at the
I
same time, did it piss you off? Go like, why did you change that? I've been playing this for 4 years. I've been honing my skills to
mm,
get this right, and now you're simplifying it. Then I have to relearn everything.
I think for me at least, because I totally didn't play SF5, right? So actually I started in Street Fighter 6.
Right.
But I think with most games, for me at least, right? I don't get too frustrated because technically I consider it as that's just how the game is set up, right?
Huh.
So these are the rules. This is what you can
Mm.
and you cannot do, and basically, if you suck, you suck. It's like, but but I mean, I guess if, not just with fighting games, but with most games,
Mm,
there it is a bunch of rules as well, right? What you
mm,
can, should, what you could, and maybe what you can expand on, right? But
right.
each title, even in a franchise, each iteration has different rules, right?
Okay.
So uh, I guess I don't get too pissed off with it
Mm-hmm.
because I always see, like, okay, for instance, like you see all the pros, right? And they go through different iterations of the game and they're still good at it. Why? Because they respect the new rules and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they gripe about it, blah 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 and all, but there's a stage where people kinda we still make noise about it, but they get used to the system.
Right.
Yeah, but I think your point earlier was quite an interesting one where are we just too hung up on changing mechanics, changing systems to
Mm,
get in the new customer, right? I think
mm,
the answer is I feel a lot of times it's yes,
mm-hmm.
because business wise it does make sense that you would go after the audience that will likely generate the most revenue, right? So
Right.
unfortunately for us, we who are uh, existing base
All right.
don't uh, don't generate as much revenue. However,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, however, there is something that a lot of brands, companies, and so on forget, right? That if you actually focus on retention,
Mm-hmm.
we all don't live in a bubble, you know. So we talk to peers, we talk to family members, we talk to friends, blah blah blah, and all this stuff, right? So the natural connection,
Right.
we will recommend whichever brand or product that we want, right? So, or that we like, actually. So I think that's where sometimes, and some brands have really good loyalty programs and so on. So, but those are the ones that really know how to do it. But a lot of people just get hung up in the revenue generating potential side in new acquisitions, but they forget that your existing base can
Right.
act
Right.
as,
Okay. So I've
yeah.
got an it's interesting thing for John, right? Because you say about, okay, I think most of them are looking into improving certain gameplay to kind
Mm.
of get new player base to come in, right? And then just retention isn't really a big thing because, the money comes from acquisition, right? New players, new money, and all that. Here's one to John.
Mm.
Counter Strike.
Yep.
The only improvement I've seen is the graphics.
Yeah. You know what keeps this game relevant? It was the idea that you could earn money off the skins.
Oh, really? Is that it?
Did you? Okay, did I not share this with you? Like, I sold an AWP, a
Uh huh.
knife, and I think can't remember. It was a M4A5,
Uh
and basically,
huh.
more than 60% of my Steam library comes from that money.
Uh,
I made about 3,000, almost 3,000 ringgit off of just selling
So it's
skins.
purely just that,
I mean that, and the gameplay is also very good, right? Like,
right? Okay.
it's the idea that, like, why do people keep playing golf if they've already mastered it?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
mm,
I say mastered it, right? Let's say you're not a scratch player, but
Yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
like two or three over par and all that kind of stuff. You
Yep.
know that you can have a good time. On a good
mm,
day, you could definitely chop someone up on the course
Right.
if you need to, right?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Or let's say you're a driving range queen or whatever. You know what I mean? You go up there, you look good, you smack a few, and people are like, holy shit.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Those type of people, right? Why
Uh-huh.
keep playing the game? Why not
Mm.
move on to something else? But it's like, no, because this is like an old shoe. It's like a hat that fits really well. It's
Mm.
like a jacket that smells nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I
So
just
so why can't Apex be that nice smelling jacket that I put on?
You know why I feel like it's so difficult now for Apex? I know this is off topic again, but and it has nothing to do with SBMM. It's because games like Valorant are out,
Yeah. Yeah.
Overwatch, and very cutesy poo anime games. And in the space of cutesy poo anime games, Apex Legends is the one of the only battle royales other than Fortnite, and both of which are losing their player base hardcore, right? Because people who
Right.
are learning how to play Apex and Fortnite on controller, they can now
Yep.
go and play Valorant on controller too.
Yep.
So now
Okay. Well.
tactical shooters are coming
Yep.
into the controller space. So
Ah.
now you get also look at the influx of women who play FPS now.
Mm.
It's a
Very high.
huge bunch of women.
Yep.
They never played
Mm.
Counter Strike before because it's such a blood and guts and like toxic kind of thing to do and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, okay, fine. Every once in a while, people still makes fun of girls for playing like Valorant and all that, but it doesn't matter anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be doing that kind of thing. You shouldn't be an asshole. Like, you should just
Mm.
be
Yep.
happy that girls are actually coming to play games at all with you sweaty nerds. Like.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, be happy, all right? Jeez. It's like, this might be your
Now we
only
have
chance to
nice
talk
things. Yeah.
to a woman that's not your sister or your mother.
Only chance to talk to her.
You know what I
You
mean?
want guns? You want my guns? You want my guns?
Yeah, yeah. Take down my guns. I got nice skins. So, but it's tough, especially for Apex, because I also felt like part of the problem of what Apex has is that it didn't know what kind of battle royale it was until
Mm.
much later in its life.
Mm.
So now they're going in and they're like, okay, you know what? Here's the fine tooth comb. Okay, I've accidentally created too many OP characters and legends. Now I have to fix that. So what
Right.
did I do with Revenant? I remove his
Yeah.
totem, but I give him extra HP as a shield,
Oh, I
and I
don't
get a
like.
jumping thing now, right? What do I do with Lifeline? Oh, okay,
Mm.
and now her Doc Joan can follow you around.
Mm-hmm.
What do I do with like uh, Newcastle? Oh, my shield can move faster now across the screen.
Okay. Okay.
So I feel like all these little efforts show the community that they're still trying to fix it, and lucky for them, it's not too little, too late.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the people who were in charge of gameplay mechanics and evolving the
Mm-hmm.
gameplay, they were
Mm-hmm.
just not good enough until season, I want to say 18, 17, 18.
Mm.
And I started playing season 9. So there have been like 8 seasons of just like, no, 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 everything's not broken. It's okay. People still
Yep.
look at it's Timmy. Look at the way he plays.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
Like, yeah, he's so good. But whereas you look at PUBG, they know exactly what
Mm.
they are. A very
Okay.
slow, methodical battle royale shooter.
Okay.
There is no need to increase speed. There is no need to introduce some sort of sci-fi mechanic that
Okay.
changes the game.
Right. Okay. So then my question here is why aren't they transparent with how they do skill based matchmaking? Right. Like okay. Uh, example.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
There's a very niche group of people who like Spain in video games, which is why they play Elden Ring, they play Dark Souls. I go, nah, not for me.
I hate
Right?
it. But anyway,
Yeah.
not all.
And then there are people who like, I kind of like a bit of what they have, but I also want it to be casual. So then there's the Ghost of Tsushima,
Mm.
the God of War, like a bit. Yeah, it's not easy, but it's also not tough.
Yep.
And then you have the hacky slashy, Dynasty Warriors. I just want to slash.
Mhm.
So to me, that's that level of similar gameplay, but
Mm.
levels differ from one
Mm.
end to one end that you allow the players to choose. Right? No one's asking you to play Dark Souls. You want to torture yourself? Go right at it, right?
Yeah.
You want something light? Dynasty Warriors for you. You want something with a bit more balance? God of War, go ahead, right?
Mm.
But why, in these instances, this kind of games won't give us an option. They give us an illusion. Oh, you're bronze now. I will put you with Bronze lobby people, sorta, kinda, maybe. We'll see, right? And then you think you're in bronze lobby, then you go, where did I die from? And then you turn around, you go like, there's this guy with a P2020 just rampaging all over your ass. And I'm like, what? How? This is like bronze lobby, right? And you know you're good in a way because I've played it enough times to know I don't suck,
Yeah.
right? I'm not
Right.
good. I'm not the greatest. I'm not. It's Timmy, but I know I don't suck. I know I won't die that easily, right? Given the balance, because a lot of the times I die because teammates rush into the house, teammate is looking somewhere, or teammate is just AFK, right? So some of the things are not within my control. So I feel like at least give me control over the type of players that I want, or the circle of people that I want to play against, right? So why are they so secretive with regards to skill-based matchmaking? What are they trying to hide actually?
I don't know. I look at it from a point of view of maybe it just doesn't exist yet. You know what I mean?
Huh.
Like they didn't think of such a problem before. They were just
Uh-huh.
like, you know what? Say for example, the player base in Singapore, our
Mm-hmm.
server is low. So
Right.
they toss you in with everybody. And
Uh,
then when people are upset, they get tossed in with the sharks.
right.
Then the developer goes, "Sorry, it's skill based matchmaking. It's not my fault. I try my best, but like this is not enough for
Right.
you. Too bad, right?"
Okay.
Then I go, "Okay, that's almost kind of maybe a reasonable reason, but not really." You know what I mean?
Right.
So what do I do
So,
then after that?
mm.
So then they
So are
come
you
up with the Apex Rambula, maybe.
right? So are you saying that skill-based matchmaking doesn't exist, but it's an excuse that they use?
I know it's been confirmed. It's been confirmed many times that especially in Apex it does happen. Like
Right.
PUBG, I just started playing again.
Uh-huh.
There are bots in my lobby.
Oh.
There were bots because I haven't played the game in like a bajillion
Oh
years.
yeah. They want to warm you in, right?
Yeah, and I had like 6 kills or 4 kills in my first game. And everyone was
Huh.
like, "Did they shoot back?" I was like, "Yeah, they shot back." What do you mean? He's just more very good at hitting me. That's all. You know what I mean? But like,
Okay, but okay, by having that happen, does that make you want to play more or want to play less?
well, I can tell you, I was very encouraged.
Hmm.
But however, the opposite of that coin would be starting Counter Strike 2 again,
Mm-hmm.
which I said I never would, and I tried it a few times, but I don't want to do it.
Okay.
It's going back to that game and then going, well, shit. Am I as good as I was when I left the game, or am I
Mm-hmm.
worse, or am I better? And then I win one or two games, and you're like, oh, I'm good. Oh yeah,
Okay.
I
Okay.
it hasn't left me yet. You know what I mean? Like, but then again, you go up against somebody who's smurfing lah, and then you know lah. They put because
Right.
CS2 is definitely one up, one down, right? You can't get
Right.
somebody who is distinguished master guardian who comes down and plays at the silver lobby unless they're smurfing on a smurf account, right? And then when
Right.
they own you, it's either cheating or it's because they're way too good.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But you can also never discount the fact that like some dude who hasn't played Apex in 2 years and used to
Mm-hmm.
be pred, and he comes back and he's just like
Everything's changed.
everything's changed, but he's starting at rookie and he hasn't
Yeah.
lost
Yeah.
any of the mechanical skill that he had.
Oh, he hasn't lost. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Do you
guess.
know
Yeah.
how
Yeah. Yeah.
annoying that would be though? It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
why
Yeah.
is this guy so good?
Yeah. That's true. That's true. But yeah, Joshua, on your side, like, because again, this is new news for me about fighting games, right? I never knew those kind of things because I just thought
Yeah,
like,
the
yeah,
frustration
some
is real.
random guy from across the country, like, okay, we'll just pit you against this guy because that guy's online right now, right? So I to me it felt like it was just queuing, right?
Ah, okay. But I
For
mean,
for fighting
it's
games, right?
it's
Yeah.
changed so much in the past 10 years, right? Because when Street Fighter 4 first came out, there wasn't so much of this. But right now, they do put you up against someone who's of similar rank
Mm.
or skill.
Mm.
But I think what you brought up earlier was fascinating, right? When if you compare like the Dark Souls and the God of War, and then also the Dynasty Warriors, right? It just sorry, I mean might be a little bit because I just put two and two together, right? It made sense because when it comes to games of competition based, right? So if you're talking about fighting games or you're talking about Apex or CS, right?
Right.
The difficulty is determined by how you play with someone along or against someone, right? So
Right.
the difficulty is actually the skill-based matchmaking. That's
Yes.
what's gonna,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
But to your question, how do they do it? I have no clue because I think not many. I'm not sure if I think that's a question, right? Do we want the companies, the
Mm-hmm.
developers, to be transparent with us on this, or does it not matter? Because clearly there is a source of frustration, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Okay, so I think in terms of Apex, I would like them to just come out and say yes, it exists. I just want them to say that. And
Same.
if it does exist, okay, cool, fine,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Other
Yep.
people are saying that it exists, but not respawn.
Yep. Yep.
Like Dota 2, Valve will never say that they're how the elo system works. They'll never tell you because if you knew how the elo system works, nobody would play the game the right way.
They'll find
Okay, that's a
loopholes.
good point.
Yeah, they'll find loopholes. Oh, this. Oh, I can build more elo by doing this. Okay, I do that.
Yes. 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 That. Yeah. That's fucking true, right? So like, I would want to know, but if I know, would I change the way I play the game? And would people change the way they see the game? For
It's
instance, like let's say if skill based matchmaking actually exists in sports, can you imagine how fucked up that is?
But it does, no?
it does.
It's called leagues, right?
No,
No, but
it's
see,
not just
leaks
that.
is one thing. It's like randomly, like, okay, I think Manchester United has been losing for like 20 games straight. They are gonna go play with Division Three club, right? What,
Ah,
you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like that doesn't make sense at all.
Okay, well, to be fair, during the Carling Cup, they do have a Division 1 team come up and play,
But see,
and
that
then
is
they
the
get shit on by like the
yeah,
likes
yeah,
of
no, but see, that's the Champions League Cup, right? The
no,
Championship Cup,
yeah,
where
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah,
allow all the
It's a different
divisions.
competition.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Correct, but right. So again, that means you might have been a bronze player, but you might have been a pret, but you're not bronze, so you climb, which is fine, right? That's why sometimes you see Division Three winners in lifting the FA Cup, right? But if that really existed in sport, can you imagine how messed up that would be?
Bro, I hate to. You're gonna hate me for this. Maybe not
No,
hate me,
it's
but so I spent a lot of time now that I'm unemployed. Spent a lot of time watching the Olympics this year.
okay. Yeah, yeah, okay, okay,
Something that I said I was gonna do during 2020, but I didn't do it because I don't know,
okay.
for whatever reason I missed all of it. But I watched almost 50% of all the athletic running events.
Right.
The 410 hurdles, the 400, the 200 I missed, the 200 I the finals I missed it. 100
Mm-hmm.
meters I missed it as well because it was just too late at night. but,
Okay.
but building up to it, every
Right.
morning there'll be
Mm-hmm.
athletics integrated, which means discus, hammer throw, long jump, high jump, hurdles, 100 meters, 400 meters, 800, 1005, blah, 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 right? And
Right.
all these qualification events have all our countries, right?
Yep.
Singapore's fielded a 100-meter dasher. We fielded one. Brunei's fielded one. Jamaica's they put 4 people into the 100-meter dash. So did the
Mm-hmm.
U.S., so did China, so did Russia. Sorry, not Russia,
Okay.
Japan and all them, right?
Right.
When you're done running your qualification heat, there were like
Mm-hmm.
8 heats. So 8 heats times 8 or times 10, depending on how many people are taking part.
Mm-hmm.
The people who don't come in first, second, or third,
Mm-hmm.
who came in fourth, fifth, and sixth, or something like that, were allowed
Mm-hmm.
to go through a repechage, which is a round robin heat.
To fill out a spot.
Yeah, so, okay, previously, let's say they did 8 heats, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's only the first place guy
Uh-huh.
that gets to go on to the final.
Right. Yeah.
But what happens
Okay.
if the draw is fucked up and you get Usain Bolt and you get Chris Gatling and then you get Noah Lyles and you get all these superstars in the heat
Yeah.
and they all lose to Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
all don't
Yeah.
get to go to
That's
the semifinals. Then nobody gets to watch,
right.
right? So the repechage was like, oh no 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 no. We'll take the top 3 and put you into a quarter.
Mm-mm.
And then the repechage will be for the rest of you losers who didn't make it a thing, but we'll give you 2 spots in the quarters each. Okay.
Right.
So for however
Okay.
many quarterfinals, there should be 4 quarterfinals, 2 semifinals, and 1 finals, right? So in
Right.
the finals, there was 2 people who had a repechage spot.
Mm.
One was Marcel Jacobs, I think his name is
Mhm.
Marcel James, a former 100-meter dash sprinter winner in Tokyo Olympics. The guy who from Italy nobody thought we would make it to do it again. He
Mhm.
actually squeaked into the final dash, and
Right.
there was one other guy, and I can't remember this guy's name, but because the whole thing was just so ridiculous. I don't know if you watched the race, but basically four people crossed the line at the same time. Two people had a 979, one person had a 981, and another person had a
Okay.
983 or 981. But on
Right.
camera, it looked like all
Right.
four of them crossed the line at the same time.
Right.
So
Okay.
this was the most stacked 100-meter final of all time. Nobody,
Damn.
nobody
Uh.
went over 10. It's in the history books now as the fastest 100-meter dash run by a group of individuals in a
Who all
single
clocked in
final.
below 10.
Yeah.
Fuck. Damn.
So hate to break it to you, but now
Is that oh
double elimination is a thing.
okay, wait. Now that you mention it, you remember badminton?
Yes.
China. They literally threw games so they could be in the loser circle
So they
to
didn't
get
have
a
to.
higher chance to go to the quarters, right?
Yeah. This was 2000,
Oh.
2020.
Right.
But
Okay, is that
but this
but
happens all the
that's
time, though. This is like that sumo
hmm.
wrestling thing, right? Like, do I want to take the easy way or do I want to take the hard way to the final?
Yeah. Okay. Oh my god.
So it happened at Evo, right, Josh?
Yeah.
Recently, Evo for Street Fighter or one of the tournaments, somebody didn't want to play someone else, so they
Uh,
lost and went into losers bracket so they could have an easier way to the final.
right.
But is that good game strategy or
You gamifying the rules though, right? No one says you can't do it.
yeah,
You
yeah,
go, here's the math. I'm gonna do this
Yeah.
way.
Well, you made the
yeah.
rule like this, and therefore I abuse it. It's still within the rules. It's not my fault. It's in the
That's what
spirit of
that's
the rule.
why that's why they don't reveal skill-based matchmaking. Because people are gonna gamify the system.
I think we fucking solved it. But it's crazy, right? To think that it happens in athletics now.
Yes,
Mm.
yes,
And it's
yes.
this
Oh
the
wow.
French Olympics is the first time this has ever happened. The Paris Olympics. Repechage
Oh,
didn't
this is
exist before.
interesting, man.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
But there's no
Huh.
repechage for the basketball tournament.
Yeah.
There's no
Oh
repechage
wow.
for the volleyball tournament either.
Huh. All right. Seems like we're onto something here.
Maybe I think that's what I think is maybe you could call it the spirit of playing the game
Mm.
is to get to that level, right? I thought that was something really nice that you wrote in the notes, Josh. You said, or is sbmm a fair system that ensures that we get over humps at our current levels before
Mhm.
being matched with someone else that's put in the time and the effort, or like the maximum amount of time and effort? And it reminds me of something that Chuan said. He said, if you joined Street Fighter 4 in '08 and you played until the time it died as a game, you'd be so overpowered as a skillful Street Fighter player because you put all the time into the training lobby that anybody who joined the game in the last 2 years, you just watch them.
Mm.
But the big caveat is if you put the time in
You
training.
put the time in, lah, and you've got
Sorry.
and you got a modicum of skill, lah. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but this goes the same with every competitive game, right? So if you put the time in, then you. So does this circle back to what we were talking about earlier? I mean, if you join like once every 2 months, then it's
I mean, I wouldn't know how
Right.
to wrap it up with a nice bow, to be fair, right? Like, it definitely feels like it should be a lot simpler than this. Like,
Right.
skill-based matchmaking, I know why it exists. We've talked about why it exists and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Is it a necessary evil? Oh, dude, I don't know. So many other games survive without having skill-based matchmaking.
Yep.
I mean, if we were to share perspectives, right? I mean, I feel, depending how it's done, right? But it might be a necessary thing in this day and age where it's, especially for games that pit you against someone else in a competition, skill base is the difficulty level because there's no easy mode, right? Because you can't control your opponent or you can't control your teammate
Yep.
Yeah.
who's playing with you. So the skill base is kind of like the difficulty lever for competitive games. yeah, because everybody just sick of arcade mode and shit. So you want to play with real
Right.
people, then it's but yeah, I mean, I guess it's better moving forward. Is there a question to make it more transparent, a bit
Mm,
more fair? I think those parts can be improved on because it
mm.
does seem like Armand, your situation, right? It's super dodgy. It's like don't keep me in just enough and then let me go and die with the wolves, right? That's what I would say.
I think, yeah, to be fair, I feel like in in spite of not having a better system in
Uh,
place, this is what we have at the moment, lah, right? So
yep.
in many respects, it's about coming to terms with it, like Armand knows
Mm-mm.
this. I like to bitch about playing Magic the Gathering now, like, because I feel like, man, this is bullshit. Everybody's built like a deck that just
Yep.
is just there to be bitchy, and I'm just like, man, I just want to have a fun game where
Yep.
I get at least to cast 30% of the characters that I want to cast on table, so I could see them there, so they can do something. But
Different
no,
goals,
yeah, somebody's
different
out there
goals.
trying to make me mill my entire deck. Mill means we'll pull the cards out and put them into your graveyard until you have no more cards left, and you automatically lose the game. I'm like, oh, this Hearthstone all over again. Fuck this stupid game. I'm over it now. I'm over it though. Just haven't had time to play. But I
Eh,
think that it's just sort of, unfortunately, at this stage,
mm, mm,
it's a bit like that Battle Pass versus loot boxes video that we did
mm.
a while ago. I think we did that. I can't remember with who. Um, it's it's unfortunately the lay of the land at the moment. But that being said, like, I don't know whether there'll be any other better way in the future.
Man, honestly, it just sounds like just get good, man. That's all they're telling us to do, right?
Well, I mean,
Unfortunately for all of us.
yeah.
Yeah.
I want
Just
to share
get good.
something.
Don't
Like,
complain.
I can't remember whether this was true or not. Maybe we can close on this one. But like
Right.
in Street Fighter V, when it first launched on the pre-order or the pre-release, you could play the game, and everyone was saying that, oh, you're really lacking defensive options. Once you're in the corner, it's block, 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 block. Or if your character has a defensive V-trigger, like Ryu, you're able to parry something. But the timing is tight. It's not super tight like Street Fighter 3 Third Strike,
Mm-hmm.
but it's tight enough.
Mm.
And then suddenly the game launches with V reversals,
Mm.
where you had a 2 bar mechanic where you could use that to reverse a move and give yourself priority again.
Mm.
That was just sort of one of those, like, let's just throw this in there and it'll fix the game for everybody.
Yeah, so I guess it's the same thing you were talking about with Apex, right? So the difference with Street Fighter 6 now is that yes, some of the systems are chaotic and it's crazy, right?
Mm.
And the game just came out last year, so who knows if there's new mechanics to be add on. But I think there are comments, people may bitch about the game, right? So on, but overall a lot of people can say actually it's the most balanced
Yeah, you're
fighting
right.
game from Street Fighter in a long time. Uh, so why they did it in Street Fighter 5 was because they screwed up so badly in terms of the development decisions, marketing decisions
I think they
over
rushed
the
it out.
years.
I think they rushed
Yeah,
out the
yeah,
game.
correct, correct. They rushed it
Yeah.
out because Capcom was in a stage where it was a bit predatory, where they locked away even simple functions in the
Cross Tekken.
game.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah.
so, and they wanted to sell costumes and so. So it's a very bad business decision on a game level, and they had so many things that they needed to make up on.
Mm.
So these mechanics came into place to kind of maybe like the Apex, right? It took them so many seasons to figure it out.
Mm.
It was the same with Street Fighter 5 too, where it took them basically both in these both cases. It's like I'm sorry in terms of the changes to the mechanics.
No, but I want to say that, like, be that as it may, or not be that as it may, but like Street Fighter 6 is definitely a better game than Street Fighter 5. Because we're talking from
Mm.
the get go, from launch, right? They
Yeah,
haven't had to add new mechanics,
not yet.
which means the game is, for all intents and purposes, right now, is complete.
Mm.
Okay? Like, why did Street Fighter 4 have to have Super Arcade Edition, Ultra, Ultra Super Arcade Edition, whatever turbo? The reason is
Right.
because back then digital media is still picking up, right? Internet speeds is still picking up, so it made sense that you'd have to release new versions of the game where you have to buy
Mm.
them or buy them as a DLC in your region,
Yeah,
and that's how they monetize, right? New characters
yeah.
and all that. Now they've replaced this with this stupid season system,
Yep.
which to me is a whole different story. I hate it because it's like I want to play Terry Bogard now. I don't want to play Terry Bogard when everyone's fucking figured out season
Yeah,
two.
yeah.
Once everyone's figured out season two and Terry Bogard drops and it's like his like medium kick is too short, his meaty is too slow.
Wow.
You could have just had the whole of season two to figure out what were the problems with optimizing gameplay for each character, but no. You're gonna leave it to like midway through the season. I forget it. Any closing thoughts, guys, about this topic?
I mean, you know my stance on this, right? Like to me,
Oh,
I
you're
just go.
reinstalling then? Okay, great.
Okay. So, if the Rumble is, I wouldn't say a permanent fixture.
I think it's only
Right.
gonna happen at the end of the season or during splits.
Yeah. Okay. So fine. So have that, right? So if they could introduce a way where you can honestly gauge your skill, right? Out of game or whatever, right? Just okay, this is a one-time thing or like a once a season thing where you go in,
Mm-hmm.
you play like what you said, you play and then you go, you gauge. Do you feel like you want to continue playing because you're technically within the silver gold level, right? Unfortunately, yes, some people are just overtly sweary. They've got streaming services that they need to adhere to. They've got their 20 followers that they need to show how good they are, right? So I go, okay, that's fine, right? I guess that, as John said, that's the lay of the land, all right? But by playing those games right now, I don't know where my skill is. So you can't call it skill-based matchmaking
Yeah,
if
you're
you
in
are not
that.
sizing my skills up correctly.
Oh, that's such a complicated thing to unpack.
Yeah, I know. So that would be my closing statement right here. Don't call it skill based. Just go
Okay.
random based matchmaking.
Or just say like we think it's fair matchmaking.
We
It's like
think
you don't spend enough money and therefore
You are cannon fodder.
Josh?
No, I think that's a fair point, right? I mean, if there is a way to make it more fair in terms of the matchmaking, because if it's as simple as just placing those people, I mean, they can see how long we play the game, right? So if we play only an hour, 2 hours a day, you just put us into the pool of the office people. We just So we'll play with the
Office
office
people.
guys and the office ladies and everybody with a full-time job. The
Tea
sweat
Lady Club
monkeys
Apex
can play on one side. And those guys who are living in, I don't know, game all day, they can play in another pool.
No, exactly. I totally agree with that. But then begs the question: enough gamers to fill that spot or not?
No, I think for you, me, Armand, I think we're pool because most people have jobs and
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I worry for the college kids though. But anyway,
Yeah, they have all the time in the world, right? And every kid
Yeah,
has
yeah.
after school time to play this game and all that. Yeah, I guess in that respect, I suppose maybe skill based matchmaking isn't so for somebody who's 40 or late 30s.
or anyone.
Ouch, man!
Towards-
Ouch.
No, dude, they should play like they should have like okay, if you submit your IC to Apex Legends, they go okay, we'll put you into your age group.
Oh,
That's
so it's like,
hilarious.
I tell you, we would
it's like a
destroy.
retirement home, right?
Huh?
It's a retirement server.
Yeah. To make it fair.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you, if they put us into a age 40 and over or age 35 and over to 45 age group for Apex Legends,
Yeah.
first of all, there'll only be 10 people in the server, but we'd be the best of the 10 people. Like, Armin and I would just
Maybe that's the
cook
point.
those fools.
The best.
Hey, no joke. I told John that Malaysia has an esports team that's above 50.
Oh, yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool.
That was for Mobile Legends, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the
Half of
So I
Mobile
told
Legends,
him-
yeah.
Yeah, so I told John we have 10 years to hone our skills. So
Oh,
by
to be-
50, we can try to sign up.
Man, I'm playing
it's not
Mobile
the end
Legends
of
right
this.
now.
What?
Oh, I mean, I'm not right now, but like I started playing Mobile Legends again.
Oh.
Now that I got all this fucking free time.
Hilarious. Retirement service.
Okay, on that bombshell, we're out.
Oh.